So it's Rob from Permaboss, and I just wanted to show you, when we invite you to send samples, this is like the best way to send the samples. If you take a look, the client looking to get the laser put a printout exactly where he wants the logo. When the logos were all sent to us ahead of time, we have them all ready to laser on. We'll do a video of the process of that getting done, and then we'll send, we'll add the pictures at the end of it. But that's an invitation to you. We've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. Sometimes people need to see, touch, and feel and understand, and the video doesn't cover it all. But here, we'll convert it all completely onto the garment and then have an idea of the time study of what that took and what this took and what this took. But I appreciate you, Greg, for doing it this way, or whoever in your office did it. This is totally clear and no mistakes can be made. And what's cool is he's got a couple where he's going to go over the zipper here. Going to go over the zipper here, go over panels at the back where the seams are. And this one doesn't have that kind of cut, and all the different textures and types of material. So we'll take pictures of it, we'll include in the video afterwards, and we'll get started on making these samples for Greg. Thanks. So what you see here is that projection box that's put over the area you want to align. It makes it easy to align to a zipper. And this is real time, none of these videos are edited. That's a fast way to be able to do the left chest. Notice the amount of fill on the left side. So if that's stitched out, traditionally that could pucker and that becomes a problem. Then you've got the box back and you can reset up the other one. Here we did a full back, and those stainless steel plates are there to hold the garment, because sometimes it could be a 2X or a 3X or a 4X garment, and then too much of it hangs over and it wants to move or slide away. But imagine this is a piece that you would just never be able to do with any other decoration technique. It would be too much time and too many stitches, and a giant dark area like that would pucker for sure. With the laser, it's easy to set up the settings. You can literally put the garment there at a very low setting. We teach those settings or those rules or those guidelines, and we practice them in the training, so it's a no-brainer. You could literally stick a garment under for the very first time, very first material, and just use a pre-planned setting that we give you and look at the reaction. If nothing happens, because it's a very safe setting, then you can actually up the power by leaving the garment exactly where it is and hitting it a second or a third time. You can hit it as many as you want, 5 times if you have to get it right. Then when you start over, you would use the middle setting of what you learned, and then you'd be hitting it pretty much first off each time the right way, even if it's a brand new product that you've never seen before. So then you've got your full back done. Now, this is what's cool. It's a similar size logo, but you're doing it right over the zipper. So the only time this wouldn't work is if, for example, you had the letter I, and the letter I was filled in right in the middle, and it was exactly directly over the zipper. It might disappear somewhat. But with this software that you get, the LaserWorks, you could actually, if you wanted to, spread that apart so that a gap is right over the zipper. But in this case, we just left it because it works out just fine. And this is a micro fleece, polar fleece jacket, and because it's an outline, it goes a lot quicker than if it's a fill. So now we're on a performance hoodie, and this is a synthetic product that's probably polyester, and we're doing one of those large logos again, just a different one that's here, and that's about as fast as the laser goes. So it might take an entire minute every once in a while for you to be able to decorate that garment, but you're generally charging somewhere in the $7.50 to $12 range for the decoration. Or, in some cases, like one of the videos I have with Phil, where he had a full back on 170 and 62 jackets, and then on 170 or so of the jackets he had a left and right chest logo, and on the 62 or so jackets he had one left chest logo, not left and right chest, but just the one. So the back took an entire 2 minutes and 10 or 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and the front was pretty easy. That was maybe 40 seconds. So it took 15 hours to do all the jackets with all the logos exactly the way it was ordered, but his profit was $41 or $42 per jacket with the decoration. Without the decoration, he doesn't get that kind of markup. The product was approximately $20 range, and he sold it for $61 or $62. So that's how you get that kind of profit margin. And nobody else could do that. He basically did it straight out of the box. This is a synthetic product, but it has a pattern to it. So it's pretty simple to get the same effect on that and get quite a bit of detail, and it looks really good. And it's a tone-on-tone decoration. So now we're doing the back of the same garment. There's certain types of garments that are easier to see the red square box, and the camera doesn't pick it up as well. In person it looks just like a red box, and it's completely square or rectangular and filled, but with the video recording you see kind of the flickering that occurs. And the laser can handle any kind of font or script or decoration or art and do greater detail than you could with embroidery. Sometimes with embroidery you run into a situation where you can't do a registered trademark or the copyright or just whatever that is. And here it's no problem to do that at all. So some kind of sports team. This is a closer shot of the left chest being done. Again, just to remind you, it's not sped up. That's real live timing and recording of it. There's no editing of the video other than me adding the voiceover to this area in the crop, and that's done. So imagine when you're doing stuff every 7 seconds. This cream colored jacket is interesting because it's a challenge to make light stuff lighter and dark stuff darker. So black generally doesn't show up. White, baby blue, yellow synthetics are hard for the laser to show. You generally don't do naturals. People can do it. All the jeans in the industry that are fashion with the tears and rips in it, that's all done by laser. Tends to cut naturals but melt synthetics. So when you would wash a synthetic, it's melted, it's tighter than it was from the weave, but if you wash a natural that has been lasered, it's almost the same as having a nail cut into a pair of jeans or a sharp object. There's a tiny little hole, and then as you wash the garment it gets bigger and bigger. So with the laser, the cotton burns and disintegrates, and material from the cotton fibers actually removed and turned into ash. With synthetics, you're literally just melting it, and you're not removing, it's not disappearing at all. There's your full back example there. Here's another full back example on a different garment, and you can use the parts of the jacket seams or of the features, you know, the way the product is sewn to do the alignment. In this particular case, we're going right over a seam because that's the location they want, and that becomes a nightmare with heat transfer, becomes a headache with other types of decoration. That's very easy on the laser. Because the laser is shooting from about a yard away, it's very easy to have very straight lines and create the box to be able to aim and do a lot of area coverage. So when you have a plotter laser, a table laser, you can't even get the garment folded in the right position flat enough, it's not quick enough. And A design like this on a tabletop laser would take you easily, like no questions asked, 30, 40 minutes with that kind of detail, because it has to physically move a tiny little laser beam over that whole area systematically. And with a galvo laser, it's literally like sitting in the car of a spouse or a friend of yours. You might be the tall person and they might be the short person, or vice versa. When you sit in the car, none of the mirrors work for the one person, but they're perfect for the other. And a very small adjustment with the mirror makes it work for the opposite person. And that's what we're doing here. We're moving mirrors extremely fast over an area. This is center back of a jacket. This is a microfleece looking product. And notice how you can literally see in this one that you're removing material of the microfleece, creating a cavity, and it's that simple, that done. So I'm just doing the samples for Greg, and I'll show you these quickly, but this is Port Authority, so I think that's Sanmar garment, and if you take a look and you want to zoom in there in the light, so it's very, very soft and subtle and neat and clean. And what's nice is you've got nothing to clean up on the inside whatsoever at all. If you have a laser, you can also very lightly tattoo inside here, etch inside here, decorated by your company, so that when these samples get out across the world to these people's customers, and they go, where'd you get that? They can actually remember that it was inside there. You can say decorated in USA or Germany or wherever your laser's going. That's nice. Excuse me, I got a cough. This is Sport Tech. So you've got full back here. Put against my chest, you can see that. And again, nothing's on the inside. So it's just, when I do this is a very large full front etch. We can do the seconds on. It's a little bit boring, but it is that way. This is navy. So a lot of your clothing is dark, you know, black, navy. It doesn't get that much darker, but it creates a tattoo. And there's a process to get that sheen on there that will teach you on site. So is there anything on the back here? No. So that's a very cool, subtle logo. And in the light, it changes, you know, so it's something that people like. This here is a microfleece, polar fleece type of garment. Okay. And we just etched off the top there, and there's kind of the detail you can get. Is that close enough there to the camera? And then again on the inside, there's nothing to worry about on the inside. So there's no cleaning, etc. So the nice thing with the laser is that you're taking garments that normally would be on the embroidery machine. Let's say I'll get this one going here. This is a very large one. I always turn the screen because we don't show anybody unless you own it. And so watch the time now. So it's starting there. If you tried to do this on embroidery, this type of design with that heavy fill would pucker, guaranteed after a first or second wash. And you'd have to do the cleaning, and the time would be killer, and you'd never get the revenue that you should charge for that. It would be a charity job because nobody was willing to pay what you really need to charge for that. The laser does these decorations, and the rule of thumb is whatever it takes you in minutes in embroidery, it's going to be seconds on the laser. So if we look at this and it was 20 seconds or something like that, it would have been 20 minutes easily, if not more. The larger the design, the more efficient the laser is, the more time gain you get. So if it's a 30 or 45-minute decoration, which you're not probably doing, it's still under a minute with the laser, and that's the cool thing. We did one on the other video, was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It was 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and it was 175 pieces, full back 12.5 inches or something like that, and then 2 on the front on 175 pieces, and 1 on the front on 62 pieces. The whole job was 16 or 15 hours, and the profit margin on the job was $41 in the garment with the decoration, so it was $9,717 profit, first trial on the laser. That's in one of the videos here. So this just finished. While we're talking, we'll maybe add up the seconds there, and then you're done. So it's so simple, so easy to use, and there's, again, nothing on the inside, right? There's nothing to deal with, to clean up. So with embroidery, if you can name drop something and then add the large part in the laser, you've got multimedia, you massively reduce stitch count, you get the multimedia effect, the two-tone effect, etc., but you're really profitable because your needles are always moving. You're taking your stuff away from the embroidery machine because the minute the needles aren't moving, you're not making any money, and you're putting on the laser. So if you can even get the laser to work 2 or 3 hours a day, you're king or queen, because it's doing $300 to $600 per hour of net profit margin, period, end of story. If you use your hair dryer or you make a toast in the morning, you've used more electricity with that appliance than you will have with this laser. So give us a shout if you want anything, 1-888-442-7929, or fill out the form at permaboss.com or permabosslaser.com and ask how we can fit this into your business. Thanks.